Good afternoon, everyone. It's July 16, 2019, and the Lord wanted me to come on here and do this video about why there's not going to be a July 17th rapture. I believe the rapture will not occur on July 17th for the following reasons. First, because several months back, the Holy Spirit had me put out a warning message that a major event would occur on or around the time of the Feast of Tabernacles this fall, and the church would be here to witness the event. The latter-day greater reign of the Holy Spirit has not occurred yet, and the brief revival that follows a series of national judgments also has not occurred. And this is only a guess on my part as to what the event will be, because I wasn't told at the time what it would be. And please go to the Lord about the fall event to occur on or around the time of the Feast of Tabernacles and pray about it and see if He would reveal anything to you about what this event might be. But my guess was that the Trump peace plan will be revealed and possibly be accepted. And if accepted, then the Jewish Messiah will appear in the fall around the re-election time in Israel. And the Messiah will be accepted as king and call for the rebuilding of the third temple. And if that Messiah is the man of sin, he will be confirmed and agree to the Trump peace plan. And that would be the Daniel 9:27 sign, which I believe would trigger the rapture of the church. And as I say, please go to the Lord about the fall event and pray about that. And also, Holy Spirit wanted me to have you remember Harold Camping. He is a so-called prophet that put up billboard warning signs all around the country in 2011, stating that the end of the world will come on May 21st, 2011. He was as sure of that date as the person is of the day that the rapture will occur on July 17, 2019. At the time he made the prediction, he was an 89-year-old multimillionaire. He started out in Christian radio broadcasting. He was also an author and an evangelist. And he had a successful ministry, and he went from nothing to become a multimillionaire and had a large following. But in the end, he proved to be nothing more than a false prophet. So that should be a warning sign to everybody here on YouTube. Just because people have the numbers and they have a big channel, ministry channel here on YouTube, doesn't mean they're not a false prophet, a false teacher, or a false watchman. What I say to that is, is use that old phrase, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And finally, Jim Jones' warning sign that I was supposed to speak about. At the entrance to his camp in Guyana, Jim Jones posted a big warning sign. Jim Jones was a pastor and founder of People's Temple in 1956. And People's Temple was in San Francisco there throughout the 60s and the early 70s. And then he had problems with the local politicians and stuff there in California. So in 1978, he opened up Jonestown in Guyana, Africa. And Congressman Leo Ryan from California went there to investigate activities that were happening there at the camp. People were complaining and stuff that they were being held against their will. So he went there to investigate, and then after a few days into the visit, he was murdered. And then over 900 people were murdered and forced to commit suicide on November 18, 1978. While Jim Jones had a big sign right at the entrance to Jonestown when you went through the gate, a big old sign posted there that says, "Those who forget history are doomed to repeat it." Ironic that, he put that sign up, but it proved to be, like I say, because people didn't remember the history of some false prophets and cult leaders and stuff from the past. They were doomed to repeat the situation with Jim Jones and be fooled by him, and unfortunately it cost them their lives. And so I just want to make the point, don't forget this July 17th. Sure rapture date, the prediction date that's been set. Please don't forget that, because if you do, you'll be gullible, and you'll probably fall for the next rapture date setting video that somebody puts out here on YouTube. Then on the 18th, the day after tomorrow, I'm going to do a follow-up video again on this subject, and I'll give you in that video, I'll give you the real reason that I was given by the Holy Spirit as to why that people should not make rapture date setting videos. There's speculation from people all the time as to, why people get upset about it. Well, some people get discouraged when the date comes and goes. And, they get let down and they want to give up and this, that, and something else because they had their heart set on the date and got all excited about it. And then the date comes and goes and it don't happen. And that's one of the real reasons that if you really love your brother and as yourself or something, then you wouldn't want to deceive them, and you wouldn't want to cause them to lose hope and want to give up and so on and so forth and get discouraged. That's not an act of love. And so sometimes, when people put out these date-setting videos, somebody's got to ask the question is, what is the motivation behind doing it? And, that's got to be called into question as always as people's motives. Why are they doing it? And like how many times has this happened before? And like we mentioned here in this video here about Harold Camping and all the billboard signs that he put up around the country swearing that, May 21st, 2011 was going to be the day that the world was going to end. It just, there's no end to it. Also, just briefly, I wanted to mention one other thing. Way back in 1980, this has been going on for so long. And way back in the year 1980, there was a person that wrote this book. He put out this book and he put it in all the Christian bookstores. 88 Reasons Why the Rapture is going to Take Place in 1988. And that book sold for years. And then I would imagine on January 1st, 1989, that the sales of the book dropped off like a rock. Please don't be fooled by the stuff that's been going on forever and ever and ever. We know the rapture is going to come, but the Lord, between now and the time of the rapture, He's got more work for us to do. Let's not forget that, and let's also not forget about soul winning. Which is the number one thing that everybody should be doing, is trying to win souls. It says the one who wins souls is wise. Thanks for listening, everyone.